So starting off this top, we're going to grab our category 4 yarn, make a slip knot. We're going to grab our 6mm hook, and we're going to make a chain that'll go from your underarm down to where you want the bottom of the crop top to be, keeping in mind that we are going to have a bottom border as well. And mine is going to be about 3.5 inches, which is 15 chains. Once when you have your chain, you're going to block off the very last one, chain 1, and then from here we're going to do 1 slip stitch into every loop that we have. So we're going to insert our hook, yarn over, pull through both loops that we have on the hook, and we're just going to do that all the way down. Now when we have our 1 row of slip stitches, we're going to chain 1, flip your work, and we're going to be working on row 2, and we're going to do more slip stitches, but instead of going through both loops like we typically do, we're just going to be working in the back loops with slip stitches. So back loop only, slip stitch, and we're going to be doing this all the way until the end of this row, but there's going to be an increase at the end, and I'll show you how to do that as well. Now we have 1 loop left to work into, so we're going to do 2 slip stitches into the very last loop, and that is an increase. 1, 2, there you go. Then we're going to chain 1, flip your work, and then into that last loop that we did, we're going to do 2 slip stitches into that 1 loop as well. So this is also an increase, and then work your way all the way back down with back loop only slip stitches. And you're going to be increasing like this for the next few rows until it gets high enough for the turtleneck to begin. And for me, from underarm to in front of my chest, that's about 6.5 inches, but everyone will be a little bit different. But I'll meet you back once we have that done. Once when you get to this point, now we're going to be working in the middle section to where both ends are blunt. Just like right here, we're going to be doing this portion. So from here, it's going to be the same exact thing. This is our increasing side. So you're going to chain 1, flip your work, and then instead of increasing in the first loop, we're just going to do 1. Just like this, until we get, until we reach across our chest, like this. So we have the middle portion done. All we need to do left is the side panels, but decreasing. So same thing as this side, same amount of rows, but just decreasing on the other side. So from here, we're going to chain 1, flip your work, and we're going to decrease. And how you do that, you're going to insert your hook into the very first loop, remembering that we're only doing back loops, yarn over, pull through, and then we're going to go into the very next loop, and then we're going to yarn over, pull through all 3 loops that's on the hook right now. So 1, 2, 3, and that is a decrease. And then we're going to do that until we have the same amount of rows on both ends, and I'll meet you once when we're done. So I've just finished one of the sides for the main portion of the top, and I already had one of them already made. So from here, what we're going to do is we're just going to connect the front to the back. And then I didn't cut and tie, so this is still a thing. And then from here, I'm just going to insert my hook into the second layer. Right here, if I can get it. Cool. And then we're just going to yarn over, pull through, and then we're just going to single crochet once into each stitch. So here's 1 from the first side, and then here's 1 from the second side, and then single crochet through. So we're going to do this once when we're done with this side, cut and tie, connect this side, cut and tie, and then I'll meet you once when we have that. So now that we have both sides connected, what we're going to do from here is we're going to make a chain from one corner to the same corner but on the second piece. And I've put mine on and I measured mine out, and mine is going to be 10 inches. So we're going to insert our hook into this corner, make a slip knot, and then we're going to make a chain that matches the measurement that you have. Like I said, mine is 10 inches, and then just connect it with a slip stitch, and we're going to do it to both corners, and I'll meet you once when we have that. Now that we've connected both pieces, I haven't cut and tie the second one yet. What we're going to do is chain 1 and then do 3 rows of single crochet through the front, through the straps that we just made, back and all the way around, 3 rows of it. Then as for single crocheting through this portion, there are no real holes for you, so you're just going to have to figure that part out. But I'll meet you once when we're done. So I just finished doing my 3 rows of single crochet. Now we're going to be working on the turtleneck portion. And I did switch out my crochet hook. Instead of the 6mm, I am using the 5mm now because I want it to be a little bit tighter. But from there, I've measured it out and I want to be able to fold over my turtleneck if I wanted to. So I'm going to make my first chain a chain that is 5 inches long. Now I have my chain that's 5 inches long. What we're going to do now is block off the very last chain with our fingers, like so, chain up 2. Then we're going to prepare for a half double crochet and then half double crochet into that loop that we blocked off, or the 3rd loop from the hook. So insert half double crochet, and we're going to half double crochet once into every loop that we have until we get down to the base. Now I've half double crocheted once into my chain, and now that I'm at the base, I'm going to go ahead and count out 2 loops. So this is the loop that we're currently in. Then I'm going to count 1, 2. We're going to go into that 2nd loop, insert our hook, and connect it with a slip stitch. And so it's connected just like that. And from here, we're going to do 2 more slip stitches, slip stitch 1, and then go into the next one, slip stitch 2. We're going to flip our work, and then we're going to prepare for another half double crochet and only work in the back loops only, like how we did for the main body portion. And then we're going to keep going back and forth like that until we make it all the way back around, and I'll meet you once when we're done. And once when you meet it all the way back around, what you're going to do from here is connect them. So I'm going to flip it inside out so that the seam is on the inside. And then I'm going to connect, and then you can do this any way you want. I'm just going to do this the way that I always do it. But you're going to pull the yarn through and then just slip stitch all the way down both sides, connecting them together. And I'll meet you once when I have that done. Alright, now that we finished the neck portion, next we're going to do the border around the sleeve. I've already taken the liberty of doing one side, so y'all don't have to sit here and watch me do this. But what we're going to do is we're going to look in the base of the neck to start this very first row of the sleeve. And then we're going to look for the very first loop that's available in the base of the neck. So it's going to be this one right here. You're going to go ahead and insert your hook. And then you're going to make a slip knot. Connect it, and then from here we're just going to do 1 single crochet all the way down and around your sleeve. Alright, so we've made it all the way around with our single crochet, and now we just need to slip stitch it into the base like how it was connected to the base before. So we're going to go into the very first loop that we have, which is this one right here. Go ahead and slip stitch into that base, and then from here we're going to slip stitch into the base 4 more times into the next 4 loops. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Go ahead and slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And from here we're going to chain up 3. 1, 2, 3. Flip your work, and then we're going to be working into the 4 loops that we just made into the base. The first thing that we're going to do is going to be a double crochet. So go ahead and prepare for double crochet. Go into the very first loop that we have. Yeah, this one. With a double crochet. And then after this, we're going to do 2 half double crochets. So here's 1. And then into the next loop with another half double crochet. And then we have 1 loop left. And that's just going to be a single crochet. And then once when we get, we're not working in the base of the neck anymore. Once when we get to the sleeve, we're going to find the very first loop that's available, and then we are going to slip stitch into that loop. And then from here, we're going to slip stitch into the next loop, flip your work, and then we're going to single crochet once into every loop that we have. So we have 4 loops, and we're going to be doing that in the back loops only. So single crochet, 2, 3, 4. Flip your work, single crochet back down in the back loops only, basically the same pattern that we did here. But from here, we're going to be doing that until we get down to the middle. And how you determine where the middle of the sleeve is where the seam is, where we connected both sides. But from here, we're going to count up 9 loops. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we're going to do these row of single crochet back loop only until we reach that 9 that we have. And then I'll show you what to do from there. Okay, so I did my rows of back loop only single crochets up until the 9 loops that I marked off for myself. So we're going to chain 1, flip your work, and then we're going to do the same pattern that we did up here. But instead of it being double crochets towards the outer edge, it's going to be double crochets towards the inner, towards the inside part of the sleeve. So from here, we're going to do 1 single crochet. And then we're going to do 2 half double crochets. If I can, there's 1. Here is 2. And then in the very last loop, there's going to be 1 double crochet. And then from here, we're going to count to the 3rd loop, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to insert our hook into that 3rd loop, connect it with a slip stitch, just like that. And then another thing that I will say is that it all depends on where you end when you come to the 9 loops that you have down here. So you could end at the top like I did, and then how we started with a single crochet, 2 half double, or you could end your row of single crochet down here. Then you would just do 3 slip stitches and then start with the double crochet and then work your way outward. But from here, we're just going to slip stitch into the next 3, flip your work, and then we're going to do the same thing. And we're going to be doing this a total of 6 times, so I'm going to do this 5 more times. Then I'll meet you once we have that. So once we are done with those 6, I don't know what we're going to call them, I guess decreasing, because it does shrink up the bottom of the sleeve a little bit. I guess those 6 decreasing rows, we're just going to go about our business and continue to do rows of 1 single crochet in the back loop only, and then there's going to be another good bit once we get back here and how we're going to connect it to the base of the neck. So I'll meet you once we get back over here. Now I've made it all the way back around for my sleeve, and then just for the very last row, we're not going to do 4 single crochets. We're going to be doing those decreasing rows that I mentioned earlier. So from here, we're just going to do 1 single crochet, 2 half double, 2, and then 1 double. And then once we have this done, all we need to do is connect the sleeve portion to the base. So all we're going to do is somehow, some way, flip this inside out. And then we are going to connect it with single crochets, just like how we've been connecting everything else. So this is 4 loops. We're going to count out 1, 2, 3, 4. Insert our hook. And then just do 1 single crochet and making sure that you're inserting your hook into both sides. 2, 3, and 4. And once we have this, chain 1 to secure it, pull, and cut. And then this is what it should be looking like so far. Pretty good, pretty good. We just have a little bit left to do. We just have a bottom border to do, which will take a second, but I'll show you how to do that. So for the bottom border, what we're going to do is grab our yarn, make a slip knot, and we're going to insert our hook into anywhere. It doesn't quite matter where. We are going to do 1 row of single crochet all the way around. So our bottom border of single crochet is all done, and I have made it all the way back around. From here, we're going to be working on the bottom border. It's basically going to look like this, like what we did for the turtleneck and for the sides, but on the bottom, and there's not going to be any increases or decreases. And from here you also get to pick how long you want the bottom border to be. Mine is going to be roughly 2.5 inches. Perfect. And from here we're just going to chain up 2 and then prepare for a half double crochet, and then we're going to half double crochet in the 3rd loop from the hook. Then we're going to half double crochet all the way down. Now that we've made it all the way down with our half double crochet, we're going to insert it. We're going to connect it to the body portion, and we're going to skip 1 loop, go into the 2nd loop with a slip stitch, and from here slip stitch up 2, 1, 2, flip your work, and then half double crochet back down in the back loops only. And we are going to be doing this for the entirety of the bottom, and then I'll meet you back once we have all that finished. So the bottom border is almost finished. I'm sure y'all can guess what we're going to do from here, but just in case, we're gonna flip this guy inside out, and then we are going to connect. So I'm going to connect it just like how we've been doing this entire time, which is just inserting our hook, making sure that you're going through both and doing a single crochet through both. I'm going to do that all the way down, and from there I will also weave in the ends that I have and all these little doodads that I got, and then I'll show you once what our finished product is. So guys, this is our beautiful finished project. This is by far the best thing we've made on this channel. But anyways, I have a quick update for you guys. I'm going to try to be uploading 2 times a week now instead of just 1. I'm going to branch out and also do other DIYs and things like that, not just crochet videos. So if you have any requests, go ahead and just leave a comment down below. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, and like, and I will see you guys in the next one.